Hi, I'm Stacy with Crested Perch, and today we are going to be learning how to make a topiary in under 15 minutes. These are super simple, super quick and easy to do. Doesn't take any design skill in order to make these. You're going to feel like a rock star once you actually learn how it's done. And they are really nice to have these little topiaries to have all around the home. You know, they do add a little bit of freshness, bring in a little bit of life to dead spaces and bathrooms, places where you don't have a lot of space to put something, but you want just a little bit of greenery or florals in your home. So our tutorial today is going to show you how to do that in 15 minutes or less. Prep time is, not that long, and we'll go ahead and get started. And so now let's talk about the tools that you're going to need in order to put this together. Very simple, short list, and things that are easily found at hobby and craft stores or either ordered off of Amazon. So of course you're going to need a glue gun. That's a staple of any crafter. Probably have one around the house, but if you don't, pick you up a glue gun. You can get them super cheap. You're going to need some greenery spears, and you've probably seen these just about at any store, right? So little greenery spears, just a little round ball of greens, and artificial, or you can get something that's preserved. You will also need some moss. So I use sheet moss, but there is also another type of moss. It's called Spanish moss. It's just a little bit fluffier and stringy. But sheet moss is my preferred, just because it's, it's a flatter, more stable space. You'll also need a container. So for containers, you can either use, any type of vessel that you want to use, as long as your greenery is going to match up and fit on it. Your container can be like a goblet or a little urn or a vase, any of those types of things. You can even use a clear glass container if you wanted to, if you were going to hide all of your foam. You will need some florist foam, some styrofoam, and I use this green foam, and it has a hard, crunchy surface. So this is what I use. They also sell another type of foam for silk flowers where it kind of feels a little spongy and dusty. I do not recommend that for this project, or really for any type of silk flower arranging, because it's not very stable and it can crumble and fall apart pretty easily. We're also going to be using floral pins, and these floral pins, you can find these again at any hobby and craft store. They also are called greening pins or fern pins. Some companies call them different things, but if you ask for floral pins, you'll find some of these. And then you're also going to need some floral clay. Comes in a little pack like this, and floral clay is just this really, it's just a sticky type of clay, and we're going to use that to hold our foam in. And one of the first things I'm going to do is I am going to use the florist clay. And I'm just going to rip off a little bit like that, just enough to put around the base of my styrofoam. And as you can see, I've already pre-cut my foam to fit. And you notice it's just right under the lip of this urn. And I've already pre-cut it to fit. And so I'm going to take this florist clay, and you can adhere it directly to the urn, but since it's kind of a different weird shape, I'm going to put it directly to the foam and then put my glue on it and then put it in, because I want to make sure that this adheres. The base of my urn does not have a stable flat surface, so that's why I'm going around the edges. And then I'm just going to take some glue. Be careful not to get yourself with the glue gun. Just going all around the pressure points. I put a little bit on the base, squirt some more in the bottom. I like to do a little bit of overkill with the glue just because I want to make sure that my piece sticks. So once I get this down in here, I'm going to give it a little twist, and what that does is that helps the glue and the sticky clay kind of adhere to it. And the reason I use the sticky clay is because a lot of surfaces are not really glue friendly. So when you're using hot glue, a lot of times you can put your foam in, you can start working with your arrangement, and it'll just pop loose, especially like metals, ceramics and glass, and even some types of wood. It would pop off if you put enough pressure to it. So that's why I use the florist clay, to make sure it's going to stay and it's not going to go anywhere. So next we're going to add our little flat top piece. Put another little dab of glue and punch that down in there. And if you want just a little bit more stability with your piece, you can always take a wood pick to push down in between so that it makes the two pieces join and connect together. But this piece is really light, so it may just be an unnecessary step. But if you want to make sure that it does, you're just going to add a little bit of glue to that wood pick and just push it down. And then next we're going to take our moss. We're just going to lay that right on top. And then just kind of tuck it all around to make sure that we hide our foam, because we always want to hide our work. And now we're going to take these floral pins. We're just going to push them down in there. And some of the spots, see how they raise up a little bit? So if it's raising up, you're going to take one of those little fern pins and just push down. Okay, only need a couple of those to get that secure. Now, next thing we're going to do is these little greenery spears. They're wonderful. You can usually find these at hobby stores, you know, craft supply, different locations like that. And you can also probably, you know, do a Google search or find them on Amazon. These little greenery spears are wonderful. This one is actually a half spear. So what that means is it doesn't have a full, you know, round appearance. So it's just kind of half, so that it's just like a little domed piece. And I prefer the half sphere because everything's already flat for me. So what we're going to do for this is we're just going to set it on top, size it, make sure it looks good, that we found the center. And we did. And so then we're going to take a couple of these little leaves. I'm going to take a couple of these little branches here on each side. I'm just going to grab 2 or 3 branches a piece. I'm going to flip this over. And I'm kind of making a little indentation into the actual flower with my finger, just so that I can find it again when I go to do the other side. And I'm just going to push everything back. And don't worry about hurting it. It's silk. You can't hurt silk flowers. And then I'm going to take another floral pin. And then I'm going to use this floral pin to hold those 2 or 3 stems that I had and push that down into the foam. And if you want to make it a little bit more stable and secure, then you'll want to add a little bit of glue to the bottoms of these. And then now on my other side, it was easy to get to because I'd already pressed everything down, just kind of like when you step on when you're out in the grass and you step on the grass and it kind of pushes it down. Same concept. And then I'm just going to add this pin here. See how I've grabbed 2 or 3 of those little pieces, pushed it down. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to fluff out all the greens that I just squished. And there you have it. There's your little topiary urn. Simple, easy, quick, and you can use these in lots of different places. I actually enjoy having a couple of these little fresh pieces around the home all the time, all year round. These are also perfect for Christmas. You can find some of those little pine spears, Looks really great at Christmas time. You can even use it on a candle stand, like a pillar candle stand. You could pop one of those onto that, just to brighten up, freshen up on your mantles, shelving, those types of things. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to do one of these. And again, it should only take you about 15 minutes to take care of it. And thanks for watching.